This is Kenya News Update today. A political leader has been detained for 269 days on charges his party calls false. Coming up, you'll discover the high-stakes demands for reform in Tanzania and why one party says the 2025 election left a wound that will take years to heal. Meet Tundu Lissu, the national chairman of Chadema. On January 3, 2026, his deputy marked a grim milestone. This is day 269 of his detention. He's accused of treason, but here's the twist. His party says the case is fabricated, baseless, and deliberately cruel. They say he is not a traitor, he did not lie, and he incited nothing. They demand his unconditional release. But this story is bigger than one man. In a New Year's address for 2026, Chadema laid down a list of demands that could reshape the nation. They want systemic reforms, an independent electoral commission, a new constitution, and an international investigation into killings and abductions during the election period. They also want a case suspending their own political activities dismissed. John Hetch, the party's vice chairman for the mainland, delivered the message. He called 2025 a year of tough decisions and great pain, but also a historic awakening of Tanzanians' desire for true justice, freedom, and democracy. For Chadema, 2025 was historic internally too. They held a national congress where Lissu was elected national chairman. But then came the crackdown. Hetch claims state organs, the registrar of political parties' office, and the courts were misused against government critics and political opponents, specifically Chadema. The party was banned from political activities over what he calls pretexts of false cases. And then, something shocking happened around the election. Hetch addressed the events that led to deaths. He calls them not normal political events, but grave crimes against humanity that contradict internationally recognized human rights principles. That's why Chadema insists on an independent, credible investigation with international representation. They say the scale of the harm has exceeded the capacity of domestic institutions alone to self-investigate. Any nation that cares for its global reputation, he argues, cannot stay silent while its citizens' blood is spilled without truth. But here's the part that will blow your mind. The party's stance on the October 29, 2025 general election. Hetch says it left Tanzania with a political wound that will take a long time to heal. He claims the no reforms, no election movement remains a historic landmark, proof that citizens discovered a fundamental truth. Without systemic reforms, an election is not a solution, he says. It is a problem being perpetuated. That's where the voice of the people turned into a philosophy of political liberation, he declared. So where does Chadema go from here? They say they will invest in preparing, nurturing, and empowering youth. They want young people to not be spectators of politics, but to be innovators, planners, and drivers of the change agenda. And internally, Hetch addresses unity. Differences of opinion in a democratic party are not a crack, he says. They are the foundation for building better arguments and solid decisions. When we agree to disagree with respect and stand together once a party decision is reached, we make Chadema a force of moral and political strength that cannot be shaken. The implications are massive. This is a direct challenge to the political status quo. Some will see this as a legitimate cry for justice and democratic integrity. Others will view it as opposition posturing. The controversy is clear: a detained leader, allegations of state weaponization, and a call for international scrutiny of election violence. It leaves one burning question: will 2026 see a breakthrough or a deeper fracture? Do you think unconditional release and international investigations are the path forward for Tanzania? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more on East Africa's biggest stories.